Hello everyone, this is Science Minds and you're watching the audiovisual chapter of class 11th biology. This is the first part of chapter 3 Plant Kingdom. In the previous chapter, we looked at the broad classification of living organisms under the system proposed by Whittaker in 1969, wherein he suggested the five kingdom classification with Monera, Protista, fungi, Animalia, and Plantae. In this chapter, we will deal in detail with further classification within kingdom Plantae, popularly known as plant kingdom. We must stress here that our understanding of the plant kingdom has changed over time. Fungi and members of the Monera and Protista having cell walls have now been excluded from the Plantae, though earlier classifications placed them in same kingdom. So, the cyanobacteria that are also referred to as blue-green algae are not algae anymore. In this chapter, we will describe algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms under Plantae. Let us look at classification within angiosperms to understand some of the concerns that influence the classification systems. The earliest systems of classification used only gross superficial morphological characters such as habitat, color, number, and shape of leaves, etc. They were based mainly on vegetative characters or on the endoecium structure. Such systems were artificial. They separated the closely related species since they were based on a few characteristics. Also, the artificial systems gave equal weightage to vegetative and sexual characteristics. This is not acceptable since we know that often the vegetative characters are more easily affected by the environment. As against this, natural classification systems developed, which were based on natural affinities among the organisms and consider not only the external features but also internal features like ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology, and phytochemistry. Such a classification of flowering plants was given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. At present, phylogenetic classification systems based on evolutionary relationships between the various organisms are acceptable. This assumes that organisms belonging to the same taxa have a common ancestor. We now use information from many other sources too to help resolve difficulties in classification. These become more important when there is no supporting fossil evidence. Numerical taxonomy, which is now easily carried out using computers, is based on all observable characteristics. Number and codes are assigned to all the characters and the data are then processed. In this way, each character is given equal importance and at the same time hundreds of characters can be considered. Cytotaxonomy, that is based on cytological information like chromosome number, structure, behavior, and chemotaxonomy that uses the chemical constituents of the plant to resolve confusions are also used by taxonomists these days. Let's start with the algae. Algae are chlorophyll bearing simple thalloid autotrophic and largely aquatic, both freshwater and marine organisms. They occur in a variety of other habitats, moist stones, soils, and wood. Some of them also occur in association with fungi, lichen, and animals, example on sloth bear. The form and size of algae is highly variable, ranging from colonial forms like volvox and the filamentous forms like Eulothrix and Spirogyra. A few of the marine forms, such as kelps, form massive plant bodies. The algae reproduce by vegetative, asexual, and sexual methods. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Each fragment develops into a thallus. Asexual reproduction is by the production of different types of spores, the most common being the zoospores. They are flagellated, or you can say the motile, and on germination give rise to new plants. Sexual reproduction takes place through fusion of two gametes. These gametes can be flagellated and similar in size, as in Eulothrix, or non flagellated but similar in size, as in Spirogyra. Such reproduction is called isogamous. Fusion of two gametes dissimilar in size, as in species of Eudorina, is termed as anisogamous. Fusion between one large non-motile female gamete and a smaller motile male gamete is termed oogamous. Example: volvox and fucus. Now let us look at this few examples of the diagram given here. Here is A1 and A2, which is volvox and Eulothrix. This is A1 and A2. First one is the volvox and the second one is Eulothrix. So volvox is a kind of a colonial type. Okay, and these two are the examples of green algae. Okay, and this is the second type, B1, B2 and B3, which is an examples of brown algae, laminaria, fucus and dictyota. What are the examples? Laminaria, fucus and dictyota. And the last one is an example of red algae, which is C1 and C2, which is Porphyra and Polysiphonia. Okay, now let us go further. Algae are useful to man in a variety of ways. At least a half of the total carbon dioxide fixation on Earth is carried out by algae through photosynthesis. Being photosynthetic, they increase the level of dissolved oxygen in their immediate environment. They are of paramount importance as primary producers of energy rich compounds, which form the basis of the food cycles of all aquatic animals. Many species of Porphyra, Laminaria, and Sargassum are among the 70 species of marine algae used as food. Certain marine brown and red algae produce large amount of hydrocolloids or water holding substances. Example: algin, which is from the brown algae, and carrageen, red algae, which are used commercially. Agar, one of the commercial products obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria, are used to grow microbes and in preparations of ice creams and jellies. Chlorella, a unicellular algae rich in proteins, is used as a food supplement even by space travelers. The algae are divided into three main classes: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. So here we are giving end to this video. This was the first part of chapter 3, Plant Kingdom, of class 11th biology. So we will be discussing further topics in the further videos. To watch more such videos, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any video. And if you want us to create more such videos on any other book or subject, do mention in the comment section. Like and share the video to keep us motivated to create such content. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye. See you soon.